Hey, how you doing? Justin here. In this lesson, we're going to have a look at a little pinky exercise, getting your fourth finger a little bit more dexterous than it might be at this point. Reason being, next week we've got a chord that requires a little bit more dexterity with the little finger. It needs to be a little bit stretchier and a little bit more controlled. In the coming weeks, we've got some more chords where it's going to get used and some scale things. You're not going to find that you use little finger a whole lot, but when you do use it, you want to be using it confidently, and for it to be, dexterous is the only word. It wants to be able to be controlled, and a lot of people struggle with little finger. So this is a relatively simple little exercise. Again, it's not a big part of your practice routine, but a little bit of practice on this stuff really goes a long way. So let's go to a close-up and I'll run you through the routine. So we're going to start actually with our third finger on the 7th fret of the thickest string. We're going to play that note just with a down pick. And then little finger goes down on the 8th fret. Nice and controlled. You want to be doing this exercise very, very slowly. It's not about speed at this point anyway. Then third finger is going to step over to the 7th fret of the 5th string, then little finger on the 8th fret. Same thing on the next string, on the 4th string. And the 3rd string. And the 2nd string. And on the thinner string. Notice that the fingers are curling up. I'm not extending my fingers out like that. You don't want to keep your fingers straight. You want to keep your little finger and your third finger nicely curled up. Once you get to the top, you're going to go the reverse of that. So little finger, third finger. Then little finger is going to cross over onto the 2nd string. And then to the 3rd finger, little finger onto the 3rd string. Back to the 3rd finger, little finger, 3rd finger, little finger, 3rd finger, little finger, 3rd finger, and then down to 2nd finger, then little finger. And now we're going to continue that pattern all of the way up toward the thinner string again. So we're just going 2nd finger, 4th finger, all the way up. Play that top note twice, little finger, 2nd finger. Now on the 2nd string. 2nd finger, a little finger, 2nd finger. 3rd string, little finger, 2nd finger. This isn't a scale, it's just an exercise. Then to the 1st finger, to little finger. 1st finger, little finger on the 5th string. Then on the 4th string. 3rd string, 2nd string, 1st string. Play the top note twice, 4th finger, 1st finger, 4th, 1st. And then you begin again, 3rd finger, 4th finger, etc. Now, at the very beginning, you're going to find this pretty difficult to move your little finger around accurately. At least Nitsudge did. It was slow and awkward, frustrating even at times, where it just wouldn't seem to go where I wanted. On top of that, you'll have the added problem of picking the right string as well, which might factor into it. This is more about the little finger, so don't worry if you accidentally hit an extra string. That's not going to be, it's not the exercise. The exercise is about the little finger. So while it's better that you hit the right string most of the time if you can, if you accidentally hit the wrong string, it's not the end of the world. At the beginning, this should just be really slow and careful, learning to place the little finger. If you can, you could start to speed it up a little bit, but it's not, again, a speed exercise. It's a dexterity, an accuracy, and being able to move your little finger to where it wants to go. Using it in conjunction with the other fingers will help develop the little finger, to be able to work independently no matter what other fingers are being used in the chord. So it's kind of the idea of that. There is no real set rule. It's just, like I said, I want your little fingers to become more active, the pads to get a bit more used, so you're used to actually holding down the string, so it shouldn't hurt so much. But mostly it's about the control. Mostly it's about learning to control your little finger. Try and avoid letting it fly right off the fretboard each time. That's a real common problem. Some people is the little finger, after it's played the note, it wants to kind of go right away. and then every time it's going to try and fly right back or off the fingerboard. You really want to try and keep it so it's not moving too far away from the fretboard at any point. Now, I've done this sort of exercise before, so for me, doing this, the right way around, right-handed, is relatively simple. But left-handed, this was a tough exercise. I'm really glad I included it at this point. It's definitely going to help with the next lesson and most of the rest of this grade, actually, getting that little bit of dexterity there in the little finger. So have a bit of fun with that. Try and do it every practice session if you can.